Hi, everyone. This is Nancy. Welcome to our online session. I usually do our sessions at Gilda's Club on Wednesday nights at 6:30, but under the circumstances, the staff at Gilda's Club has worked really hard, not just at Gilda's, but the whole support group organization, to make accessible some things for us since we can't go on site. So I hope everyone is doing well. And our session today will be mostly concentrating on using some of the tools that yoga gives us for relaxing, and for calming ourselves in times of stress or just when we feel unfocused. So we'll be going through a few of those things, a calming and a centering session. And also, I'll be doing some neck rolls and maybe some things for the shoulders because we build up so much of our stress in the upper part, the shoulder, the neck, and the head. So we'll be doing some of those things. And then at the end, we'll do some full body relaxation. And I think everybody's favorite parts, the full body relaxation and the guided meditation, again, aim to relax you. So let's just go over where we might be sitting and how would be most receptive for you. If you're sitting in a chair, I'm sitting in a straight back chair right now. And if you're sitting in a straight back chair and don't want to slouch down into it, but think about keeping the spine upright. And so you can use a pillow or something like that, a block, if you're used to using a block, to put behind the small of your back to give you some support, but you're still a little bit forward on the chair and your feet can be on the floor comfortably. If you're sitting on a softer type of chair, again, use the pillows to allow you to come forward so that your feet can be on the floor, and take off your shoes if you have any shoes on. If you want to lie on the couch, if you want to sit on a bed and then lie down when we do the relaxation, you can do that. And but you observe your body, adjust your position as feels comfortable for you. In yoga, I always feel that each individual has to be responsible for being the observer of their own body. I can't do that for you, and it would be wrong for me to try to do it. So I'll try to give the best instruction that we can. And one of the basic units of yoga is learning and being aware of the position of the spine, so that by keeping the spine upright, and that doesn't mean just like tightening up the muscles and pulling everything back. I like to think of it more as a visualization. So if you even just close your eyes gently now and just visualize the spine from the very base, very bottom of the spine, and just in your mind's eye, go up through the spine. Visualize it opening up and just being very erect and very straight, and that it extends through the neck and even up through the head. And then visualize just a nice chain, golden chain perhaps, extending up to the ceiling so that everything is just in that straight line, head over neck over spine. The old Dharma show, she was a yoga instructor, and she used to say head over heart over belly. So head, neck, and trunk will suffice. Okay, so if you'd like to go into your comfortable seated position, even if you're seated on the floor, if you've done yoga practice and you're comfortable doing that, go ahead and do that. And just allow yourself now just to close your eyes gently. Allow your hands to be loosely in your lap or on your knees. Allow a few slow, deep breaths to come in and go out, noticing the breath coming in through the nostrils. Inhaling and exhaling. And as you breathe, visualize all the events and happenings of the day just loosening as though they were sitting on your shoulders, and they're just sliding down your back, right down into the floor, just being absorbed into the earth. So we don't have to even think about those things right now. And just think about breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. And you can allow your forehead to smooth out and relax. You can allow your eyes to soften, the tension around your eyes or behind your eyes to release. Even visualize the muscles and skin on the face just relaxing as though it was melting. The shoulders dropping down away from the ears. And feel yourself calm, centered. Breathing in and breathing out. Visualizing that center perhaps as a shaft of light running through the center of your body, entering from the top of your head, flowing down through your body, right down into the floor. And because we are human, the mind will be distracted. Thoughts will come in and go out. And we can use that shaft of light to center ourselves, bring our minds back to center. But we gently acknowledge the distractions, and we can let them go and come back to center. Breathing in and breathing out, allowing yourself to flow as though flowing on an eternal stream of consciousness, flowing into that center and allowing yourself just these few moments of quiet, of peace, of calm. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And then gently bring your awareness back to the body. Feel your arms, your legs. Notice the surface you're sitting on. And while still sitting relaxed, I'm going to bring the hands together in front of the chest. And we're going to just, as though we were warming up our hands on a chilly day, get some energy running through the palms of the hands. And then we'll place one hand over the other and sort of visor the hands over the eyes and visualize that energy that you generated flowing into the eyes, allowing them to relax and release. And then gently placing your fingertips on your eyelids. And again, allowing that energy, that warmth, to flow into your eyes, releasing and relaxing. And then you inhale, exhale, you bring the hands back down. And we're going to be ready for neck rolls. And we do them in the Hatha Yoga style, which is very slow and very aware. We're going to be following the flow of the head as it moves so that you're aware of everything that's happening. And by moving slow, it's probably slower than you can imagine doing neck rolls because we Westerners are not really used to doing anything very slowly. But the idea is we can make this movement an active meditation. So not only are we doing a physical movement, but we're also involving the mind, slowing the mind, not thinking about other things, but really trying to focus on what the head and the neck and probably the shoulders and the top of the back are feeling like. And it really does help to focus, and it's a good exercise. It's a good tool to pull out when you need to be in a situation that's making you a little bit tense. It also helps to keep the neck flexible so that we can move the neck easily from side to side without pain. It helps to, they say, to alleviate wrinkles or to avoid wrinkles forming in the neck. So if you'd like to watch my first round, and then we'll do them together, we'll be doing a total of 3 rounds to the right and 3 to the left. And I'll be talking through them, and I talk for most of everything I do. And one of the reasons is that I want you to not have to think about anything, that you can just listen to my voice and without judgment of yourself, without any self-criticism, just to flow with what we're attempting to do. And again, we're human. So everything's a practice for us. When we get it perfect, we won't be here anymore. So be kind to yourself. Don't be critical of yourself. It's not necessary. We don't need to do that. So to start the yoga neck rolls, I'm going to, again, just close my eyes gently. Just try to get a little quiet. I'm going to inhale through the nostrils. And then as I exhale, I'm allowing, not forcing or throwing the head towards the chest. I'm allowing all those muscles in the back of the neck down into the shoulders, perhaps even into the upper back, to release and soften. Just allow them to release and soften. And then I'm beginning the rotation. I'm starting my first round. And again, you can observe this round if you like, if you're not familiar with this. And as the head rolls towards the shoulder, the face faces forward. I'm not dropping the head down towards the floor so that it's as though I were trying to touch my shoulder with my ear. The ear flows past the shoulder, around to the back, one continuous movement, but we're allowing the head to drop all the way to the back. When we are in that position. Then as we start it, we're allowing the head with the face forward to just move over the shoulder, that ear as though we're skimming the shoulder. And then as we come once more toward the center of the chest, we allow the head to just drop down. And then if you're starting, start your roll. I'm starting my second round. And again, very slowly and smoothly, as though the head were rolling on ball bearings. That's smoothly, with no friction. And if you're moving a little bit faster than I am, that's fine, that's okay. Just continue at your own speed, what's comfortable for you. Noticing as we do this very simple movement, any areas of tightness or soreness in the neck, and go gently over those areas. Think about keeping the shoulders relaxed, keeping the face relaxed. And as the head and the neck, I'm going into my third round now. We're just noticing the movement noticing any tightness without criticism, just being aware. And you can use your visualization once more. And that visualization is perhaps seeing in your mind's eye the additional oxygen, the additional circulation, the additional energy that you're bringing in to these areas, the head, the neck, the shoulders. That energy flowing up through the neck, into the head, into the brain. Noticing this, visualizing. We're slowing the mind down. When we slow the mind down, we're able to release all the other chatter going on in the brain. Yoga calls it the monkey brain, monkey mind, like a monkey swinging from tree to tree, squealing and chattering. So we use these tools to slow that monkey mind, to allow the brain, the mind, to focus just within. And yoga tells us that all knowledge is within, that we are our own teachers, that everything resides within, so that when we quiet, when we still ourselves, we're able to hear that knowledge that lies within. Perhaps you might call it intuition, but just knowing that it is there, that you can access it. That's who you are. That's your true I. And when you've completed your 3 rounds to the right and your 3 rounds to the left, just sit quietly for a moment. Again, breathing, just noticing, just noticing. No expectations, no judgments. Right now, this is the only place you have to be. This is the only thing you have to do. So if we're all back right now, just do a couple of neck rolls to release, again, tightness and tension in this upper body area. Also, we like to think about keeping the chest open. When we keep the chest open, these muscles extend it and out rather than crushed inward. We're opening up that space for the lungs so that when we breathe, we can take a fuller breath. I'm told that the lungs are pear-shaped, wider at the bottom, so that we want to get that breath all the way down into the bottom. And we will cover a little bit more about the diaphragmatic breath later. But right now, we want to do some things that release tension, but also help to open up these muscles of the chest. And when we're doing that, we're engaging the core muscles at the same time. And again, if because of any condition or weakness for the back and you feel like you need to lean back more, do that to relieve that tension and follow along as best you can. And just knowing and being aware sometimes changes what we think we can do. But you have to listen to your body. So I'm just first going to do some shoulder rolls. And I'm going to tell you, raise your shoulders up towards your ears. And perhaps we've gone like this, and you can see what that looks like. The muscles are all tight and tense now. But if we visualize that with the breath, that as we inhale, the muscles are rising up towards the ear, it's a different effect. So if I say, just take a moment, take a breath in, and as you breathe, allow the shoulders to rise up towards the ears. You're only using the muscles of the shoulders to do that. You're not tightening anything else up. And then when you exhale, you can feel those muscles releasing downward. Let's do a couple rounds together. So we're going to inhale and allow the shoulders with the breath to come up towards the ears. With the exhalation, we'll allow the shoulders to release down, down, down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. You can close your eyes while you do this. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Let's do one more round. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Good. And then we're going to bring the fingertips up to the shoulders. Now, first of all, if that is uncomfortable for you, to get the hands up to the shoulders, you can just put them across the front of the chest, and we can still get the movement that we're trying to get. So this is called the elbow touch, but the elbows do not need to touch. I like to use the visualization of gates, swinging closed and swinging open. But sometimes the gates don't come all the way closed. That's okay. And you're still using the same muscles. And that's what we want to get at. It's not to get to a certain point, but how we're using the body and how we're using those muscles. That's where the benefits come from. So I'm going to tell you to inhale the hands up, either across the front of the chest or onto the shoulders. And if possible, or just to your ability, having the arms parallel with the floor. But you adapt as you need. So again, I'm going to tell you to inhale. And then as you exhale, I'm just going to allow the arms to release forward to wherever they want to stop. And if you have long sleeves on, like I have, your arms will feel a little restricted. So you can loosen them up if you want to, pull them up a little bit. Okay. And then so that's on the exhalation forward, inhaling. Again, the chest is opening up as we inhale, and we are bringing those shoulders back a little bit so that we can get that engagement of the muscles across the front of the chest. And then on the exhalation, we're allowing them to release forward. And then inhaling, those gates are opening, opening, opening. And exhaling, because we're compressing the lungs now, so it's an exhalation as we come forward. Inhaling, open. And again, if your hands are forward, just do your best to bring everything. You're still using those muscles. And just let's do one more full round. We'll inhale, open. Exhale, close. And then we'll just inhale the arms back and exhale them down. And again, it gets those, and always, release any tension after you've done a movement to make yourself feel comfortable and listen to your body. So it's not a matter of just, thinking of what you should do, or if you were in a classroom situation with people next to you, not looking at what the other person is doing, or even what I'm doing, except to get the basics of the movements. Okay, so I'm just going to do some arm lifts. So we're going to inhale up, nice deep breath, exhale everything down. Inhale up, exhale down. One more time. Inhale up and exhale down. Just feel that freedom of movement. And with the breath is the energy, the prana of the universe that we call the breathing in yoga pranayama. And prana is believed to be what everything is made of, all the energy that creates all of our world as we see it. So we're inhaling that creative energy when we breathe. And when we breathe with awareness and focus, we increase the benefits of the breath, and we're getting full, complete breaths. So that's what I'd like to talk about now, is the diaphragmatic breath. And again, some of you have been into yoga practice, perhaps been to our sessions at Gilda's, and are familiar with it. So I'll just briefly go over for those who may not be familiar with it, that the area of focus for the diaphragmatic breath is the diaphragm, which is that muscle just beneath the rib cage. So if you placed your hand right on that diaphragm, just lightly placed, not pushing in or anything. And think about when I was in high school and the gym teacher said to take a deep breath, we would usually do a and everything would be sucked in. Okay, so we're going to do the opposite with the diaphragmatic breath. We're going to release that diaphragm muscle so that it can open up space for the breath to come into the lungs, to fill the lungs from the bottom all the way up. And we visualize all the way up to the top. That's the visualization that we'll be saying. And the second part of the yoga breath, the diaphragmatic breath, is the pharyngeal breath. So it's like we're not sniffing in the breath through the nostrils, like we might say, take a deep breath, and we might go, but that only goes so far. So we want to get a deeper breath. So it's almost, I've heard some people refer to it as like a bellows effect, but it's as though you were drawing in the breath through the back of the throat, the pharyngeal area of the throat. Some people also use the instruction as though you were sipping in the breath, always through the nostrils. We're just using basic diaphragmatic breathing. There are lots of different breathing exercises, closing off nostrils and so forth, but alternate nostril breathing. But we're just doing basic diaphragmatic breathing. So I'll be, again, speaking as we do the breathing, and I'll be continuously repeating. You won't be breathing at the same rate of what I'm saying, but what we're going to be thinking about is right now, just for experimental purposes, if you take an inhalation and allow that diaphragm to relax and visualize as though you were blowing up a balloon in your belly, you'll feel that diaphragm as though it were pushing up against the hand. So that's the first step. And then with the pharyngeal breathing, we're just thinking as we inhale that we're pulling it in through the back of the throat. You might hear a little sound or a sighing. And so they're the two parts that we're going to be putting together. And if it just gets, too confusing for you, or not confusing, but just a little bit too much to process at one time, just think about the diaphragm expanding so we get that full breath in. And over time, as you practice, it really does become easier. And because it's not natural that we're thinking about our breath, but it helps to release, again, a cycle of tension, because when we're stressed or feel tension or nervous, we breathe more shallowly. When we breathe shallowly, we become tenser. So we want to reverse that effect. So that's why the diaphragm, and it does, I was having a a test done, and the technician said to me, just breathe. And she had no idea I had any connection with yoga. She says, we're not doing yoga breath. I didn't even realize. So it does become that natural. So we're going to, again, just notice how we're sitting so that we have that free flow through the spine. And again, just allow your hands to be relaxed. And as we take that first breath through the nostrils, inhaling through the nostrils, feeling as though you're pulling that breath down through the back of the throat and blowing up that balloon in the belly. We're inhaling and exhaling. And on the exhalation, when you're on your exhalation, just visualize as though that breath were being released from the lungs like water being poured out of a glass. And one breath follows the other. We're not holding breath. There might be a slight pause at the top of the inhalation, but we're not doing any kind of holding. So we're inhaling, allowing the breath be pulled in through the nostrils from the back of the throat. We're releasing the diaphragm as though we were blowing up a balloon in the belly. We're releasing the breath as though we're pouring out of the lungs. One breath follows the other, inhaling and exhaling. And again, if the diaphragmatic breath, you feel you've done enough, just breathe normally as we finish. And visualize when you're breathing, that you're breathing in the prana, the energy of the universe. Breathing in all the positive things. And when you're exhaling, visualize that you're breathing out all of the things that you consider negative. You don't have to list them. You don't have to name them. Just breathing in the positive, breathing out the negative, letting it go, letting it go, letting it go. Breathing in and breathing out. And then allowing your breath to return to its normal, easy breath. And then we'll be ready for our relaxation, our full body relaxation, and our guided meditation. So if you would like to lie down on the couch or make yourself more comfortable or put a cover over you, because when you're fully relaxed, the body temperature does drop. So you may feel chilly. And if you're sitting on a bed or want to get onto a bed, then you can lie down on the bed. So either sitting or lying, just again visualizing that head, neck, and trunk in a straight line, allowing your hands, your arms to be relaxed. If you're lying down, they could be away from the body. If you're sitting, just allow them to be relaxed in your lap or on your knees. And as you breathe, feeling balanced as you sit or lie, head, neck, and trunk in a straight line, erect but relaxed. You can allow your forehead to relax and smooth out. You can allow your eyes to soften without any tension around them or behind them. You can allow the skin and muscles of the face to relax as though they were melting. You can relax the corners of your mouth and relax your tongue, perhaps bringing it down from the roof of the mouth, perhaps feeling it curl back slightly. And then relax your jaw, just allowing the jaw to go slack. Relaxing through the bones and muscles of the neck, relaxing the throat, allowing that energy to flow down into the shoulders, feeling them drop away from the ears, flowing down through the arms, the long bones of the arms down into the hands and into the fingers and the fingertips. And even feel as though your hands were floating in a cool stream of water. And then gently bringing your mind back up to your chest and releasing muscles of the chest, relaxing the organs of the chest, relaxing and releasing the muscles of the abdominal area and the organs of the abdominal area. and relaxing all of the organs and muscles of the pelvic area, down through the bones and muscles of the hips, relaxing through the thighs, around the knees, down through the calves, releasing and relaxing through the ankles and feet and toes. And then moving the mind up the backs of the legs to the small of the back and letting the small of the back release. And visualize that relaxing energy flowing up through the spinal column, surrounding the spinal column with that energy, relaxing, opening up spaces between the vertebrae, releasing tension on the discs of the back of the spine, right up across the back, through all the muscles and ligaments and bones of the back, releasing up between the shoulder blades and up through the back of the neck to the base of the skull. And visualize the plates of the skull moving apart slightly as they relax. And even visualize your brain relaxing, perhaps like a balloon with the air being gently let out, feeling yourself so relaxed as though you were just sinking into the chair, into the floor, with no fears, no worries, no anxieties. And visualize yourself floating on a white cloud in a blue sky. See the other clouds floating past you as you move and drift through that broad expanse of blue. You can look down and see yourself floating over the earth, seeing the patterns of the earth, floating over the treetops, even floating over the mountaintops, seeing all of that beauty, all of that wonder as you move and drift and float through the sky. You can feel the very cells of your body moving apart as you float, feeling as though your body were becoming almost like vapor, moving, drifting, floating, no fears, no worries, no anxieties. And you can see as you float over a crystal clear lake, you can see yourself reflected in the surface of the lake, and you can see yourself perfectly free, perfectly happy. And then dismissing all thoughts from your mind, you can lie relaxed, knowing that you are not just a body. You are not just a mind. You're something more, something greater. And then gently bringing your awareness back to your body. You can feel your arms and your legs. You can feel the surface beneath you. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can move or stretch in any way that feels good to you. And taking your time, and only when you're ready, if you're lying down, you can roll onto your side, push up to the seated position. If you're seated, just again, slowly opening your eyes, orienting yourself back into your space. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me. And it means so much to me. And shared energy is a powerful source of calmness. Shai Bhagwan, peace. Have a good day, good night, a good week. Thank you for being here.